Hello friends, welcome back to another video on ProjectLibre tutorial. I am actually revisiting ProjectLibre after a very long time, thanks to one of our users named Mokhan Gamer 540. He raised this question regarding setting up of time in hours as well as changing the calendar to start from 7 a.m. So there are basically two questions that he has asked in this query of his. And I'm going to try to answer both of them as uh, easily and quickly as possible. So the first question, in order to answer both of these questions, what we have to first do is create a custom calendar in our project. So I am right now in a .NET project environment. I will go to calendars, and from here, I'll have to create a default calendar first. I'll have to create a new calendar to cater to that timing that he is actually wanting, that is starting at 7 a.m. So for that to happen, I will first go to options and I will make the hours per day to be 9 hours, because now I'm going to start the day at 7 a.m. in the morning and go on up till 5 p.m. in the evening with 1 hour of lunch break in between. So that makes my working hours as 9 hours. And according to that, my hours per week, considering that I work 5 days a week, will become 45 hours. And if I'm looking at Indian context or most of the Asian countries context, we work 22 days per month. So I'm going to put that in here. And I'm going to say, okay. So now I have created the base that is required for my new time calculation. Now I will have to create a new calendar here, which will cater to that, or I can change one of these itself to cater to that. I generally prefer not tampering the existing ones and trying to create a new for the project specific. So I'm going to create a new calendar here, and let me call this the 7 a.m. calendar. This is just to signify that the calendar starts from 7 a.m. And now what I have to do is I have to select each of these days of the week by holding control and clicking on when in the calendar here. And now I have to make this as non-default working time, because the default working time is 8 to 5. That is globally accepted. I'm going to create a non-default working time. I'm going to change this to 7 a.m. Start at 7, go on till 12, then a 1 hour lunch break, and the next working hour starts at 13, that is 1 p.m. and goes on up to 5 p.m. So now it looks okay to me. I have done it for all the 5 working days that we're going to have. I'm going to say okay. I will go back to my calendar to check that this update has been reflected. So now when I'm coming to the 7 a.m. calendar, and if I click any one of them, you see this is what I meant, that I need to ensure that my calendar is updated. It has not been updated, so I'm doing it manually for each one of them now. This is a one-time exercise, just to make sure that we are not erring in our calendar creation itself. And now I'm going to say okay. Before I move on, let me check this once again. If I'm coming back here, yeah. So now if you see, the updates are reflecting and I'm able to see the time when it starts and till when it goes on. The next thing that I have to do now is I have to make this my default calendar for the project. So I'll have to come to this information tab here, and here instead of the base calendar being a standard calendar, I will have to change it to the 7 a.m. calendar that we now created. Okay, and I will have to give that as a first prompt here, saying that the project should start at 7 a.m. right? So that is the calendar new timing, and that is what we wanted to start at. So I'm going to say close. And now let me create the main task, that is the project. Name of the project or whatever we want to write here, we can put in that value here. And now if you notice, it is starting on the next day of here as per calendar, and it's starting at 7 a.m. All right. So now I'm going to add the tasks that he wants. Let's say task 1, and task It's 2. All right. And now I'm going to give them an indent here so that they become part of the main project. And now the next query that he has asked needs to be resolved. So even though this work is starting at 7 a.m., it's ending at 5 p.m. that day, and the next work is starting at 7, the next work is ending. Now here he wants this to start at 7 a.m. and end at 2 p.m. Right? So I will have to minus the 1 hour of lunch break that I'm providing. So 7 to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 2, 3, 2 p.m. So it's 6 hours, right? 6 hours that I need to provide here. So what I'm going to do now is in this duration, instead of having the activity run for or feed in the value of activity in terms of days, I will have to now start feeding in the value in terms of hours. Okay. So I will take 6 hours now. So I'm going to type in 6 hours. So it's going to automatically calculate it as 0.667 days. So now if you see, the activity starts at 7 a.m. and ends at 2 p.m. exactly the way he wanted. And now the next activity, I wanted to go on for, let's say, 10 hours. Okay. And I'm going to put in there 10 hours. So now you see this activity ends at 2 p.m. Oh, I have not done the successor activity, predecessor activity. Task 2 has to start after task 1 finishes. So now once I have done that, if you notice, this one ends at 2 p.m. and the next activity starts on the same day at 2 p.m. and goes on up to 3 p.m. the next day, because I have given 10 hours work schedule for this. Okay. So now this is the solution to his question, and I hope it answers. Do let me know, Mokhan Gamer 540. As a project manager, I would like to advise something here. We generally don't prefer to have schedules which run on hours. We would generally have them run in terms of days or weeks or months, right? Hours becomes too micromanaging in nature for us to operate on a project level. However, having said that, I understand that when you're doing interior projects, especially interior execution projects, you run by the hours. And in those cases, this type of a calendar might be useful. Hope this video was helpful in explaining this concept of custom calendar as well as custom timing in terms of your project scheduling. Thank you and see you in the next video.